Hi, my name is Victor Torres Ramirez, and today I will talk about a very peculiar case, the case of O.J. Simpson, or better known as the trial of the century. The main character in this story is O.J. Simpson, known for being a grateful player, also for his appearances in comedy films. Also, Nicole Brown, a future model, just 18 years old, victim of this tragic story. On June 13, 1994, the inner bodies of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman were found outside Nicole's duplex, which she shared with her children, located on Bundy Street in Brentwood, the Angels. Nicole was stabbed numerous times in the head and neck. At the scene of the crime, little evidence was found but very decisive for this trial that took place. The most relevant and decisive were found a bloody black glove, a woolen cap, which was supposed to be O.J.'s son, Jason Simpson, which made him a second culprit or even the real killer. Authorities set out to tell O.J. That Nicole has died, but he was not found at home. Instead, a Ford Bronco truck was found with traces of blood inside and out. The pair of gloves found at the crime scene was also found bloodied and blood if it turned out to be Nicole and Goldman. The police officers who went decided to break into the property without a search warrant, which also affected the case. Signs from what happened, it was true what he might be injured or dead, but he had previously traveled to Chicago the night before. Trial began in 1995. On the prosecution side was represented by Marcia Clark, and on the other side, Simpson defenders were called the Dream Team, who were Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian, Robert Shapiro, and Lee Bailey, great lawyers. Simpson was formally charged on 20 June and pleaded not guilty to both murders. Yet the judge ordered him to be held without bail until the end of the trial. On the next day, a jury was called to determine whether he would be charged with the double murder. 2 days later, on June 23, the jury was dismissed as a result of excessive media coverage, which could affect the neutrality they must have. A woman would testified to Simpson's Bronco van speeding out of the area where Nicole's house was on the night of the murders, almost collided with a Nissan. Another witness was a man who sold Simpson a knife similar to the murder weapon a couple of weeks before the murder. But these testimonies could not be used in the trial. They were sold by the same people to certain media. Already voted, the jury held a probable cause hearing to determine where O.J. was going to trial or not. In the end, it did go to trial, and 12 juries and 12 alternatives were chosen from 304 people who had to fill out a 75-page questionnaire. Trial began on January 24 of 1995. It started showing that OJ abused of Nicole physically and emotionally. There were phone calls from Nicole to 911 where Simpson could be heard screaming at her, also showing that she was able to commit the murder because of a fit of jealousy. It was also believed that it was not the work of a single person, since Goldman was a young person and very strong. It was speculated that they were also these who were looking at Goldman and a friend of Nicole who owed money for drugs, among many other things that did not have much validity. The trial ended on October 3 of 1995, declaring O.J. Simpson innocent of the double murder. Although 2 years later, he was ordered to pay 3.5 million fine to the families of the victims. To finally, this case personally fills me a bit of confusion, as many people said that it was the killer, since most, if not all, of the evidence was against him. Has the gloves on the phone at the scene and the other found on the Simpson own property, the shoe mark at the crime scene, which matter of the pair of shoes had OJ, but they were never found. The lawyers, the links to make a case of racism look like, such as using a racist detective who speak in a despective way of the accused, the implementation of false evidence, the contamination of evidence by bad Paul's work, the blood stains in the Bronco van of the same OJ, and after many years, the same Robert Kardashian said that yes, was guilty. For my part, it was very clear that I was guilty, but it also demonstrates the power of a great team of lawyers. That is all. Thank you.